Hello and welcome to the start of Big Ten season here on your Spartan Report. My name is Dennis Zerbano. I hope you all had an enjoyable and restful bye week. But before we get into Big Ten play, let's take a look back at the Spartans' last non-conference game from 2 weeks ago. Coach Mark D'Antonio led the Spartans into South Bend and even 3-3 versus the Irish. We'll start in the second as Connor Cook lost one up to McGarrett Kings Jr. for the 12-yard touchdown pass. Spartans would be up 7-3 at that point. But later in the quarter, Notre Dame responds. Tommy Reese finds TJ Jones in the back of the end zone for the score. The Irish led at the half 10-7. An MSU field goal would tie things up 10-10 going into the fourth. That's when Cam McDaniel runs 7 yards and reaches pay dirt. Another MSU field goal would give the Irish a 17-13 lead going into the last minutes of the game. So with 2 minutes left in the ball, D'Antonio decides to put in Andrew Maxwell for the last drive. On first down, he overthrows Aaron Burbridge. So on second down, Maxwell again overthrows Aaron Burbridge. After a couple of penalties, MSU faced 3rd and 20 where Maxwell misses Benny Fowler with the pass. So it comes down to 4th and 20. Gotta throw it, right? Maxwell gets flushed out and inexplicably runs out of bounds. And that would do it. Connor Cook and the Spartans lose in South Bend 17-13. So it's time to give out my grades for the non-conference part of the schedule. The MSU offense gets a D- from me. They've been miserable so far, and it all stems from the instability at quarterback. The unimpressive play from Andrew Maxwell and Connor Cook has put MSU at 156th in the nation in total offense. The Spartans' offense will need to improve if they hope to play in Indianapolis. On the other side of the football, the MSU defense gets an A from me. Pat Narduzzi's unit leads the nation in total defense. They have scored 4 touchdowns off of 8 turnovers. Honestly, if it weren't for the stellar defense, the Spartans could easily be 1-3 instead of 3-1. Lastly, the grade for MSU head coach Mark D'Antonio. I'll give him a C. The Spartans have 3 wins on the season, but 2 of those wins were against teams who still haven't won a game in 2013, and the other came against a team from the FCS. To improve his team, D'Antonio could start by putting full confidence in Connor Cook to lead the offense. But now, D'Antonio and the Spartans move into Big Ten play. They are looking to do much better than last year's 3-5 conference record. To be fair, the Spartans could very well have been on top of the Big Ten. Their 5 losses came by a combined 13 points. Hopefully this year, the bounces will go the way of the green and white. And 2013 will be the last year that the Big Ten has 12 teams competing for the Stag Championship trophy. Michigan State will have to beat out the rest of the teams in the Legends division to earn a trip back to Indy. For those who still can't remember who plays in the Legends division, just remember that it's all the teams that start with M and N plus Iowa. And Iowa is the first team that the Spartans will face in Big Ten play. As you can see from the schedule, Ohio State and Wisconsin are nowhere to be found. The key game on the slate is the November 2nd matchup with Michigan. The Spartans could very well be going into that game 4-0 in the Big Ten. It also starts a crucial stretch for MSU as they face Michigan, Nebraska, and Northwestern in consecutive weeks. Of course, a Spartan report would not be complete without a look ahead to this weekend's tilt versus the Hawkeyes. Iowa kicked off Big Ten play last Saturday with a 23-7 win over Minnesota. Head coach Kirk Ferentz is the longest tenured coach in the Big Ten. So let's take a look at what will happen when each team has the ball. When State has the ball, the Spartans will have to contend with a very solid linebacking corps. That group is led by James Morris, the current Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. He had 8 tackles, 1 sack, and an interception in last week's win over Minnesota. The Spartan offense will need to get the passing game going to spread out the Hawkeye linebackers, opening up the field for the MSU running backs. When the Hawkeyes are on offense, the focus will be on quarterback Jake Rudock. In 5 games, he has already amassed over 1,000 yards of offense by himself. His strong arm and deceptive quickness will remind Spartan fans of Drew Stanton. The front four for the Spartan defense will not only need to get pressure on Rudock, but also contain him to make sure he does not win the game with his legs. So it's prediction time. I'm 4-0 on these, so I'm putting my perfect record on the line here. I have MSU winning 17-14. This game is as close to a toss-up as possible. Both teams feature stout defenses and capable offenses. But it will be important for the Spartans to overcome the tough environment that is Kinnick Stadium. From the pink locker rooms to a claustrophobic visiting sideline, MSU will have its hands full with a hostile crowd in Iowa City. Remember, you can share your predictions and comments below or on Twitter. Well, that's all for this week's edition of your Spartan Report. My name is Dennis Zurbano. Thank you for watching today, and as always, go green!